All right. So today we are going to talk about what's new in wireless. Some of you already know all about wireless. There is a lot of things which have happened in the last few years. And so what's happening is what it is about. So we'll talk about the history and then about the hype cycle, then what is happening from the industry point of view. First of all, everything that I'm going to talk in this lecture is as good as any astrologer can make it. Okay? So nobody really knows. Nobody had forecasted that this will happen in 2015, let's say before 2007, when iPhone came about. And the same thing, we don't know what next is, right? But this is a linear prediction from the industry. Linear means that whatever is happening, we just extend it and say, this same thing will happen in 5 years from now. And I'm guaranteeing you, somebody will come up with something that will change the whole direction. Okay? But we don't know that. So we can't talk about it. Nobody can talk about it. So we will just do this one. And so with wireless history, actually wireless is pretty old. 1880s, Hertz discovered that things can go without wire. Right? 1880. However, nothing really happened, and we can read line by line. Nothing really happened till almost 1997 in terms of computer communication. So Wi-Fi was standardized in 1997 and it was running at 2 megabits per second. 2 megabits. So some of you who use today Wi-Fi at 600 megabits would be surprised that we had it at 2 megabits. And that was the challenge at that time. We couldn't do any faster than that because we knew that 10 megabit is Ethernet and Ethernet was making 100 megabit at that time, but we couldn't touch it. We couldn't touch that speed with wireless with any reasonable cost. It's like today, somebody said 5 gigabits, I would say, yeah, we can do it with wireless. Gigabit, right? If somebody said 5 terabits, I wouldn't touch it, right? So same thing, these higher speeds, they're untouchable. And so with 2 megabits, today you can see in 18 years later where we are. How fast things have changed. And this happens to all the technologies. All the technologies follow this S-shaped curve where in the beginning you have to do a lot of work and you make very little money. And that is when it is done by you, the students, very cheap, very good. Right? Research by us professors, same thing. But as soon as there is a potential that all the key problems have been solved, and then what happens is with very little effort you can make a lot of money. That's when the technology goes to the startups. Right? That's where people make millions and billions. And then it becomes to the peak of the hype. And at that point, people know that there are many things that cannot do. Before that, everything can be done with this new thing that we have. And I generally give an example of a marriage. Before marriage, the life is made up of dreams. There is this other person, who will solve all my problems ideally, and there are nothing else left, right? But after marriage, the life is different. So with that, we come down. And we find out that it cannot solve all the problems. Some problems it can solve, but not all the problems. And so then basically the startups go away, and then the big companies come in. And after this, basically either the technology dies, or if it survives, then it is basically the matter of manufacturing it cheaply, because there's not much innovation to be done. It just make it cheaper. Whoever can make it cheaper can sell it. All right. And that's when the technology goes out of India, out of USA, countries where manufacturing is best, cheapest. You know that, right? So this is the thing. And so what it is that we really want to work on here, the professors, and maybe here. All right. So we are teaching you how to work here, and then you get out of here, and then you start your own startup. And so you learn first thing is that you need to work on the left of this curve, not on the right. And here is the curve. This is Gartner's hype cycle. And talking of the Gartner, luckily for WashU people, Gartner is free. And so I really appreciate that. You can go to Gartner, do some search like Gartner at Worcester.edu or something like that, and you will find how to get there without paying, because these reports cost $5,000. And so I and you cannot afford it. So basically, with Gartner you can find, and I did try to search for latest one, but this is the latest one that I could find, so 2013. But basically what this graph shows is what is on the left and what is on the right. Okay, so right now, you don't want to do too much research in this area. This is where you want to be. LTE advanced, 5G, cognitive radio, 11AH, blah, blah, blah. This is where we will spend a lot of our time in this class as well. And this is where we want to spend, but you cannot really go to the left without going to the right in the class. I mean, because I need to teach you about the things which have happened in the past little bit. Okay? So one of the first things that we do every year in every class for everything and for my own research is to find out what is happening, what is going to happen, what industry thing is going to happen. At least we have to know about it, we have to teach about it.